Yo-ho, yo-ho, brush, let's all have our voice, whichever you've the notion.
50 cents for shaving cream, $1 for the lotion.
Many people think that the best way to escape war is to dwell upon its horrors and to imprint them vividly upon the minds of the younger generation.
At this late moment, the first time he's commanded at Hindenburg, upon previous flight, he acted as the chief officer under Captain Lehman. They fastened motors to the ship, but just holding it just enough to keep it from... It burst into flame! It burst into flame and it's falling! It's fighting! Wait! Get her started! It's fighting and it's...
Hey, well. Hey. I don't go for the big starts, you know. Welcome to We Are Still All Cunts. Is everyone aware they're at a show called We Are Still All Cunts? Making sure no one's shocked by that. This is the second show in my cunting trilogy. Last year's show was We Are All Cunts. This year's show, We Are Still All Cunts. Because we haven't improved, have we? You know? If anything, it's gotten worse, I've found. It says something when 2016 is some type of utopian past, you know? Do you remember the halcyon days of 2016 when all of your heroes died? Wasn't that just better? Bowie died. What a better time. It's ridiculous. I have to put a warning at the start. I've been getting a few walkouts in this show, which means that people have come to a show called We Are Still All Cunts and got offended. Now, if there is anyone in here who comes to a show like this and gets offended on behalf of me and humanity, fuck off. Ridiculous. Although I did get my best quote ever from a show as one woman was walking out. She said, "It was the dead children that did it for me." That's a postal quote, that is. Jesus. I'll tell you why I know everyone's a cunt, especially my audiences, because I love yous. You're killing me. I'm losing me hair. I'm going grey. I'm as stressed and angry as I've ever been in my entire life. Like, to a point now that when I wake up in the morning, about an hour after I've woken up, my eyes leak. I do not cry. My eyes leak. And I'm quite sure that is my mind and body getting together and getting depressed that I've woken up yet again. Right? Because you have to know, I try to put across positive messages in my shows. Hence the titles, you know? And so, it's okay to be sad sometimes. It's okay to be depressed sometimes. It's okay to be lonely sometimes. Even I get lonely. And I know you're looking at me going, what? You? But you seem so together. You're wearing a hat. But even I get lonely. Sometimes, when I'm on my own and I'm feeling particularly lonely, I sit on my arm until it goes dead. And then I get jealous of my arm. You thought that was going to be a wanking joke, didn't you? None of that shit in my shows. That's the thing, like, I think we are the worst that humanity has ever offered. You know, we have all of the information in the world at our fingertips. And what do we use it for? Videos of cats and talking about Hitler. That's it. That's all the internet is. Cats and Hitler. Cats, Hitler, cats, Hitler, cats, Hitler, cats, Hitler. Oh my God, there's a cat that looks like Hitler. We've won the internet. There's a dog that looks like Hitler. There's a house that looks like Hitler. Ken Livingstone's on TV. Stop mentioning Hitler. What's wrong with you? Even the nice stories. You know, the good stories, the ones that are meant to make us hopeful, meant to make us think that it's not all bad. Even those stories, if you look at them, you see what a bunch of arseholes we are. I'll give you an example. Every couple of years, you see this story of a bus that's fallen on someone. Now, of course, that's not the good bit. Slightly amusing bit sometimes, but not the good bit. What you'll see then is between like 50 people working together to help lift that bus. You're going, this is fantastic. Look at us all working together. Aren't we brilliant? What they don't tell you is around that bus, you've got another 200 people who are filming it from every possible pissing angle for this week's tragedy porn. You know? Because you have to get those likes, don't you? It's important. But they're not even the worst people. Because behind the people who are filming it, you've got another group of people who are watching the people filming it just going, I wish I was filming this. This is probably going to go viral. What a cracking idea. But they're not even the worst people. Because behind the people filming it, behind the people wishing they were filming it, you've got another group of people just going, I wonder what I would do. Because every tragedy we have to make it about us, don't we? That's why every tragedy you'll go onto Facebook and everyone's saying that they're safe no matter where the fuck they are in the world. You know, I once saw a pub claim themselves safe. That's why we go on Facebook and we change our profile pictures like we're helping. Oh, I've changed it to a flag. I've helped. No, you haven't. You're a dickhead. But they're not even the worst people. Because behind the people filming it, behind the people wishing they were filming it, behind the people making it all about them, you've got the worst type of people. Arseholes like me. Who look at the people filming it, who see the people wishing they were filming it, who see the people making it all selfish. Just look at the tragedy and go, that's my bus. I am going to be late home today. Right, terrorism. In 2016, over in America, more toddlers killed people than terrorists. Begging the question, when are we going to start bombing play schools? Oh. On purpose. No, not the accidental ones. And I tell you what I haven't seen. I haven't seen anyone from the toddler community coming out condemning these attacks, have you? Where the fuck are they? That's what I want to see. I want to see the community leader of the toddlers reading a statement in front of a nursery surrounded by cameras. But no. And I've been into nurseries. I've asked them. I've said, why are you not condemning these? Why are you not condemning these attacks? And you know what they do? Just cry and ask for their mothers. Scummy little cunts. People get asked me what's wrong with the world, because we can all say that it's not going fantastically at the moment. I think if you want to look at what's wrong with the world, one of the main things is the UN Security Council. 4 of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council are Russia, China, the UK and the US. Of course it's fucked, you know. We can't do anything. If we want to do something, it gets vetoed. Want to do something about North Korea, China vetoes it, unless it's about nuclear war, it turns out. Want to do something about Syria, Russia vetoes it. Want to do something about Israel, the US vetoes it. And of course got the UK there, still pretending that they matter. That would be like having the Babysitters Club members being Ian Huntley, the lead singer of the Lost Prophets, and Cot Death. Just going, why are all these children dying? I don't understand. There is some good news though. I don't want you to think that everything I say is about how shit it all is. We seem to be heading towards a war between Turkey and Saudi Arabia, so that's nice, you know. You'll be thinking, like, why is that good news? How can that possibly be good news? What you have to realise is that we sell weapons to both Saudi Arabia and Turkey. We can get rid of the deficit Fuck the EU, we don't need them anymore, their subsidies. We'll become war gods. Scotland can get their independence, go to war with Norway over oil. We'll rebrand, you know, no longer Great Britain. You can call us Mars, God of War. We will wash in the blood of the innocent. And put up the minimum wage. It'll be nice. Wouldn't that be lovely? Over in Syria, a few months ago, there was a 7-year-old girl strap a bomb onto herself, walk into a police station in Damascus and blew herself up. It's a terrible story. But you have to be impressed. Very much 2 for 1, isn't it? You know? Because not only is she a martyr, but she's also a virgin. Very much her own reward. And it was at that point some people left. Now, there are people who think that that is an offensive joke, which is absolute bollocks. I want to tell you, that is not offensive. I have made that probably nicer than it is, because there was a good chance she wasn't a virgin. Turns out ISIS are arseholes. Who knew? It is one of the main problems with all the bombings, all the wars, is our media and how we take away the humanity of every destruction, every war that's going on. We talk about the buildings that fall down, the bombs that are being used. We never talk about the day-to-day struggles these people face. Aleppo is a prime example. War-torn, horrible. We never talk about the day-to-day struggles. Like, it must be an absolute bitch to give directions in Aleppo, you know? No landmarks left. How do you give directions about landmarks? You want to go where? Okay. Well, that's not there anymore. Take the 3rd rubble to the left. Got to walk past the open grave, walk past the crying children, turn right to the screaming children. Not the crying children, the screaming children. You'll know the difference, because everyone's taking photos of the crying children, and as we know, children should be seen and not heard. Turn right to the screaming children, and that is how you get to the Hilton. What everyone's expected so far from a show called Don't want anyone disappointed. It's time for a palate cleanser now. I've chucked in a couple of nice jokes throughout the show to cleanse everyone's palate, because I know how dark the show is. So first one, anyone in here believe in homeopathy? Right fucking answer. The NHS spends $4 million a year on homeopathy. I mean, spend $4 million a year on shit that does not work. We do not have enough beds, but we've got a dream catcher for every one of them. Isn't that nice? I think if you believe in homeopathy and you go to the NHS, all you should be allowed to do is hit the condensation off the windows. I went to a homeopathy museum the other day. I say that. I went swimming. We all know the memory of water though, don't we? You know? That joke doesn't normally get a lot, but I think the more times I say it, the stronger it will get. 4 homeopathy jokes on the bounce. You are welcome. Who remembers last year's Olympics? Yeah? Do you remember Team Refugee? My favourite part. I thought that was absolutely beautiful. Team Refugee. Thought it was fantastic. Does say something when the IOC treat refugees better than we do. You know, we probably have to look at ourselves at that. We treat refugees terribly in this country. Especially child refugees. For some reason we treat them terribly. Like, we were meant to take in thousands, we've taken in none this year. One of the main reasons, of course, is that our MPs do not think they look young enough. Someone needs to tell our MPs they don't need to fancy every child, you know? Isn't that important to know? But I did think Team Refugee was fantastic. Thought it was brilliant. Though it did seem a lot to me like window shopping for other countries. No, may as well have been called Who Wants to Win a Passport? Just a lot of countries going, got. Oh, javelin, need. They didn't win any medals. Of course they didn't, though. You couldn't expect them to. They've come from a war zone, for fuck's sake. You'd be very smug if you came up against someone from Team Refugee in, say, dressage, wouldn't you? You'd think you'd won that. Why are you so confident? Well, I've had all of the best equipment, all the best training, and they've come from a war zone. Have been able to train on a rocking horse. I think I've got it. What we should have done is some events, make it more even, you know? So instead of like individual sailing, do 5,000 people on a dinghy trying to get across the Atlantic. If you lose more than 50%, you're disqualified. From one difficult subject to another. How come every time there's a rape in the papers, you've always got some cunt talking about the grey area of rape? Like, there's part of me who's starting to understand these men who seem so scared of women. Because I'm scared of heights. I do not know what I would do if Heights started writing articles and asking for equality. You know? And is this grey area a fucking thing? Some poor girl gets attacked, put into a police station, put into a room where all there is a pissing Dulux colour chart on the wall and a shaggy dog in the corner so we can see how much we can blame on her. Because isn't victim blaming our favourite fucking pastime in this country? If you do not know the colours, do not worry. I have some here. Of course I do. So some of the colours you'll find on the Dulux colour chart of rape. What am I doing with my life? Asking for it red? Too many drinks green? On her own blue? Short skirt emerald? Tight top topaz? Didn't respond to catcalls eggshell? Smiled silver? Pissed purple? Accepted drink mauve? It's the culture cyan. They're a celebrity indigo? Promiscuous pink, in a relationship turquoise, gagging for it grey, he's your dad daffodil. Minicab melon. She was asleep azure. Roll hypno rouge. High heel heliotrope. Flirting fuchsia. She touched me teal. Had sex before beige. Now I know some of you will be thinking, Jesus Christ, Ashley, 21 colours. Doesn't that seem a bit forced? But you are here, so I'm taking it as consent. Now do not worry, because it's 2017, I've decided to find a way to stop men raping, because I think we fucking should do by now. So I have found a way. What we do is we use evil. And when I say evil, I of course mean marketing, commercials. So at the end of every commercial there's a message. So it'll be like, want cheaper car insurance? Don't rape. Try new Activia yogurt. Great for the digestion. Don't rape. Try the new McDonald's Summer Burger. Fresh ingredients, only $4.99. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. For fuck's sake, don't rape anyone! It's 2017, what's your fucking problem? I think you get the idea, you know? Time for another palate cleanser. After the success of the first. I keep on hearing about how everything's so Orwellian at the moment. Heard this, how it's all Orwellian. Isn't it so Orwellian? Isn't the world so Orwellian at the moment? I think if George Orwell was alive today, he'd be running down the street shouting, "I wrote other books!" Right, time for politics now. We're going to start with Brexit. Now, I don't want to talk about Brexit. I don't want to talk about it. But I'm a political comedian, so it's kind of in the contract. I have to talk about Brexit. So, Brexit. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Liam Fox just told us we're going to be fine. Because we are going to start selling jam and biscuits. Ooh. Turns out we're no longer an economy, we're a village fucking fate, you know? All we're looking to do is to fix the hole in the church roof. I believe was Ethel's idea. And do not worry, because Edna has been collecting jam pots for years. How many have you got, Edna? Around 50. How many do you need? Around 50 million. You're a cunt, Edna. What happens if jam and biscuits doesn't work? What's our next plan? Are we going to fill the Millennium Dome with sweets? Get all the other countries to guess how many sweets are in there? Turn the London Eye into a massive tombola to a worldwide weekly raffle, you know? We can get the royals to sell the tickets so they're fucking useful for a change. Who's got 72? Oh, is that Japan? Congratulations! You've won this week's meat raffle! Ridiculous. It's been over a year now. We still don't have a clue what type of Brexit we want. We know the colours though, don't we? Red, white and blue Brexit, a green Brexit. We don't have a fucking clue. At least we've colour-coded it though. Isn't that nice? Isn't that just bloody delightful? It's ridiculous. Want a smooth Brexit, a hard Brexit, a peanut Brexit, a dirty Brexit. Oh, put it up my arse Brexit. Fucking ridiculous. We've gone to the WTO, doing a World Trade Organization. We've gone to them to tell them that they need to change their ideas, their regulations, because we do not like it. You see what's happening, right? In 10 years, we're going to attempt to leave the fucking planet. Just going to have Boris Johnson telling us it's all going to be fine, because the clangers want to do a trade deal with us, you know? Ridiculous. Don't get it. We've decided to ignore experts, which I think is delightful. I'm looking forward to everyone going to the NHS to see Dr. fucking Pepper. Gonna have to about what we deserve at this point, innit? But do not worry, because Leave voters have said that they do not mind if people lose their jobs as long as we leave the EU, which I think is bloody lovely of them, considering the majority of Leave voters were over 65, well known for not having those jobs. So I think we put a new law in. If you cannot survive the winter on your own, you don't get to vote. I think it seems fair, doesn't it? You know? Stop the young and the old, because it's not their fucking future. It's ridiculous. I do wish it was all a bit better, you know. But it seems like hope, optimism, wishing on a star are just three of our negotiating techniques at the moment, it seems. It's the lies of it all. That's what annoys me still to this day. If we're going to leave the EU, fine, leave the EU, but at least do it honestly. Like freedom of movement, we wanted to stop that. We wanted control of our borders. We've always had it. Sovereignty. And I'm going to quote the government here. We have always had sovereignty. It just hasn't always felt like it. Hasn't always felt like it. What the fuck is going on? Are we in an 80s teen movie? We've had it inside of us all along. We just needed to believe. The problem is, this isn't a movie. There isn't a shot to make at the end to win the game. If there is, we've missed the shot, we've punched the coach, we've set the court on fire, and now we're walking around going, Champione! Champione! I mean, if you listen to the media, I think it makes it sound like the EU are kicking us out. That's the mental thing. People keep telling me to get over it, you know? Get over it, you loser. I just lost at FIFA. This wasn't a game. If it was a game, I was told we were playing chess. Turns out we were playing drafts, and now some bastard's going, king me, king me, king me. Madness. All of it's fucking madness. So we're going to move on from Brexit to something even more fun. The election. Wasn't that delightful? Theresa May, 7 times, said that she would not call an election because Brexit was far too important. And then she realised she was ahead and called the worst election the world has ever seen. Theresa May. Theresa May to me is like a skin suit run by about 15 scared squirrels. You know? A woman so robotic, I doubt she'd pass the Turing test. There was only one hero to be found in the whole of the election, and that was Brenda. When Brenda was asked what she thought about another election, she said, "Oh no, not another one." Which is an entire country being bored about being asked how shit they think everyone in politics is. Ridiculous. Theresa May started by saying that the more votes she gets, the stronger she will become. Like a supervillain. The thing is, she was probably right, because she didn't get that many votes. She looks weak as fuck now, don't she? I'd feel sorry for Theresa May if she wasn't Theresa May. That's the thing. Because she's now there only to soak up all of the crap from everything else now. She is there as a figurehead to get punched and punched and punched until there's a bit of calm and someone else can come in. She's very much the Bukkake sponge of politics now, you know? Just there to soak up the shit. It was just mental. All of it was terrible. Like, the Tories did their very best to lose. They really fucking tried. They tried to lose it. I mean, dementia tax was one of the highlights. I thought dementia tax was brilliant, though. I thought, what a shrewd move. Because who do you tax? People who will forget about being taxed. Genius! Genius idea! I believe they got the idea from the Department of Work and Pensions, who have for years been telling people with Parkinson's and MS that they're fit to work. Like, as what? I've got Parkinson's, where you're fit to work. What can I work as? Cocktail shaker? I assume you've got MS, some form of paperweight. She said that she no longer wanted the Tories to be seen as the bully party, which is why one of the manifesto pledges was to take lunches away from children. I assume everyone turned down the candy from babies idea that they had. Of course, they wanted to bring back fox hunting. We all remember 2017. Why don't we bring back fox hunting? Yeah. She said the reason she wanted to do it was because it was the most humane way of killing foxes. What way are we currently killing foxes? That the most humane way to do it is to get a bunch of incestual assholes on horseback, dressed as used tampons, to charge after a fox surrounded by anger management dogs. What ways do we currently... Have we got like Del and Tell with crowbars going around the countryside beating them to death? Is the government currently cladding dens? Is that what's going on? Are we putting foxes into social housing? How are we... I think the idea that the government are currently doing is they're getting like a robotic female fox, sending them into the wild to meet a male fox. The male fox sees the female fox, love at fox sight, you know, this is beautiful. And so they start courting. I don't know how foxes court. I assume Nando's, but I don't know. So they're starting to court and everything's going well. A few months down the line, they start talking about the future. Maybe they should move in together. Because they went on holiday and hardly argued. And that's how it works in relationships, isn't it? Go on holiday, don't argue too much, move in together. And so they move in together. Everything's going wonderful. Everything's going brilliant. He understands love now. Poetry, he gets it. Love songs, they mean something different to him now. He's seeing different colours. So they start talking about the future even more now. Maybe they should have kids. Kids should be brought up in this type of love. So they should have kids. They try to have kids. But she is a robot. She can't have kids. He doesn't know this. So they're trying and they're trying and they're trying. But nothing's happening. Now there starts to be a strain in the relationship. So they carry on trying, still nothing's happening. Now he's starting to get depressed because she's saying, there's nothing wrong with me. I went to the fox doctor, I'm fine. This is your issue. So now he's depressed. He's watching daytime television. He's drinking, he's doing drugs, depression. A few months more down the line, it's getting too much. She leaves him. Final words. Should probably just kill yourself. Now in his depressed, drunken state, he's like, you're right, I probably should. So he goes out to the cold night, finds his nearest tree and hangs himself. They're just a couple of Tory MPs going, is this too cruel? Is this too cruel of a way to kill a fox? Is heartbreak too cruel of a way to kill a fox? Bet you didn't think you'd come to a show called We Are Still All Cunts and think, ah, poor fox. I think that the reason that she wanted to bring back fox hunting and said it the most humane, because that's her next idea for disabled people. Which is actually more humane than what's currently going on. You know, seems at the moment what we're doing is we're taking all of their money, putting the price up on everything to a point where they can't even afford suicide anymore. You know, we all know the suicide's getting more expensive, isn't it? 5p for a plastic bag? Terrible. Ridiculous. On top of that, if May does go, who's going to be next? Jacob Rees-Mogg. It's ridiculous. A man who is against abortion. You know, going, well, of course you are, look at you. You know. Have you noticed how the majority of people who are anti-abortion look like they've survived one? You know, with a lot of them you can still smell the gin. It's ridiculous. I did think I did think that the election was going to be more than just a two-horse race. I did think that the Lib Dems were going to do something. That was before Tim Farron fucked up at the first question. Is gay sex a sin? Say no, just say no. Please say no, please just say no. Say no, come on, this is the first, you're going to have a lot more questions. Just say no. Please say no. Please, please, please say no. Don't do this at the start, please say no. I mean, think of it like drugs. Just say no, please say no. Come on, please say no. Yes, it is. Dickhead! How did you fuck that up? I said, oh, it's because of my religion, you know, because of my religion. And I hate to break it to you, might be your religion is a dickhead. And listen, have any religion you want. I don't care. I do not care what religion you are. Whatever imaginary bullshit gets you through the day, that's up to you. But if you're there going, well, that group of people isn't right. Probably not the greatest of religions, you know. If you're walking around going, I'm not a cannibal, I'm just eating Jesus. Start questioning it, don't you? And so we get on to Corbyn. I'm going to step my stall out on Corbyn. I think Corbyn is a cunt. I think if you laughed at all the Tory stuff, laughed at the Lib Dem stuff, and unwilling to laugh at the Corbyn stuff, you are a hypocrite. Which makes sense because you support Corbyn. And so is he. Corbyn has done a wonderful style of Buddhist opposition, you know, where he seems to have taken a vow of silence and then every so often sets himself on fire. It's fascinating. Really is fucking brilliant, you know. It's... I don't like the fact that we're chanting him. Is anyone else concerned about that? When was it okay to start liking politicians? Because I didn't get that memo. Over in Glastonbury, chanting him. Everyone think back to the last politician you can remember being chanted. And how well did that go? Because everyone just thought of Hitler, isn't they? And I'm not going to compare Corbyn to Hitler, because that is unfair. You cannot compare Corbyn to Hitler. I mean, the Jews knew where they stood with Hitler. Cheeky little joke on the anti-Semitism in the Labour Party there. Who's saying, fuck off? Well, in their £3 Corbyn cult, ridiculous. It's not even one of the good cults, like Scientology, where you can get a superpower, you know? In the £3 cult of Corbyn, all you get is a jam recipe. And I've been doing some research on Corbyn. I'm not sure if anyone's aware of this. But whisper it. Turns out, he's a politician. Who knew? I thought he was a god. Like for 35 years as well. He's been doing it for a while. I all thought he came from nowhere, but no, it turns out he's a career politician. One of the ones we don't like until we like the person. You know, those ones. Ridiculous. The left-wing wankers. And I'm left-wing as well. You know, well, supposedly. That's what they say. I consider myself more of a genocidal liberal, you know. Like, listen, I think human rights are a great thing. I think we're all too stupid to deal with it, so let's kill everyone, you know. But, like, you should be left-wing. You should care for other people. But you have to understand, if you're left-wing, you have achieved fuck all in your lives. Absolutely nothing. All you'll be known for is chanting. That's it. That's all you've done, chanted. What do we want? When do we want it? Have you noticed it's never how or why? Have you noticed that? What do we want? The NHS to be better. How? I'm more of the ideas guy myself. Have you tried the Labour manifesto? That's what I found difficult about the election, like, who to vote for. Who to vote for. Right, I'm not going to vote for the Tories. I'm against the majority of stuff that they've ever done. I think austerity is one of the worst things to ever happen to this country. I've only found one positive about austerity. One selfish silver lining. And that is the fact that more disabled and old people are dying means more seats on the underground, you know? And I like to sit down. But their manifesto, Tory manifesto, was basically a hard Brexit and welfare cuts. I'm not going to do that. Then you've got the Labour manifesto, which was basically a hard Brexit and welfare cuts. Very difficult to pick, you know, if you actually read the manifestos and didn't just listen to what that beige bellend said. Ridiculous, like what happens when beige becomes sentient. May as well cover the other parties, you know, make it all even. The Green Party, what's the fucking point? Economics for children, that's the Green Party, very much. They're the type of people who say, why don't we just get rid of money, you know? We can pay for everything in hugs. Lovely. Problem with that is that I don't like being touched. Even in that world I'm poor. Ridiculous. And the SNP, of course. All I would say on the SNP is, isn't it nice to have a national party? History suggests they go great. Start kidding people for not liking shortbread. Ridiculous. Blair's back. Just fucking hell. Coming back like the Terminator from the second Terminator film, you know. I'm a good guy now. Forget about all the deaths in the first one. Oh, I'm good now. You know, because that's how it all ends, you know. Not with a bang, but with a wanker. Ridiculous. The greatest trick the far right ever pulled was convincing the world they weren't the elite. I think this has been fascinating to watch. Because you listen to the type of people who supposedly are the working class people. Trump, Farage, Le Pen. We're here for the working man. You know they're all rich, right? I heard someone call Trump a blue-collar billionaire. That's not a thing. That's like saying, oh yeah, that ISIS agent, yeah, he's a careful driver. It's not a thing. Nigel Farage. UKIP are supposedly the working class party in this country now. The working class party. Their logo is a pound sign. How did no one notice that? The problem with that is they changed it today because they knew I had my gig here. Didn't stop me doing the joke. They've changed it to a lion, the most British of all of the animals. They've got a new leader in today as well. His name is Henry Bolton. He was born in Kenya. You can just see them all going along saying, why don't we make it seem like we're not just a bunch of racists? Why don't we get a leader that's African? Nice idea. Make sure he's white though. It's all mad, fucking. All they do is lie to us. All they do is constantly lie to us. Like last year, Farage went skinny dipping. Did you hear that? He went skinny dipping after last year's conference, which is not strictly true. He didn't actually go skinny dipping. What he was doing is a new a new thing a lot like the ice bucket challenge, you know? It was called Child Refugee, where you get naked, jump into the water and let the waves wash you ashore. That is the darkest joke of the show. Well done for all making it. There isn't a joke that's darker than that. We've got the Nazis back. That's fun, isn't it? Who doesn't like a Nazi? Which means what we get to hear now is a lot of people on like Twitter and Facebook and everything saying, well, I think you'll find that the swastika was actually a Hindu symbol for hope. Hey, yeah, the Nazis were quite hopeful though, weren't they? You know? Maybe you tell the Nazis, see if they give it back, see if the Hindus want it, you know? Because I don't think they would. Here, do you want the swastika back? You keep it. Not enough bleach in the world to clean that, thank you. I'll be honest, when I'm seeing a bunch of white lads walking towards me with swastika tattoos, I'm not thinking, ooh, Hindus. There's been a rise in hate, there has been a rise in bigotry and everything else. And it seems that people don't care if they're caught with it anymore. Like, do you know Anne-Marie Morris? Tory MP got suspended a little while ago, a few months ago now. She got suspended because during a Brexit conference, speaking with all of her other arseholes, she said that a no deal in Brexit was a nigger in a wall pile. Oh, that's some confidence you've got in 2017 for that. Also, what the fuck is a wall pile? Listen, if you're going to be racist, be up-to-date racist. I just don't get it, because she was being recorded. Did she think no one... How can racists be that stupid and not try to make toast in the bath? One of the reasons that she gave for saying it was that she was reading from a teleprompter. What was it meant to say? Because she said it was an autocorrect. What could it have possibly have meant to say? A Jew in a stew? A chink in a drink? What the fuck was it meant to say? And I'll be honest, I've read out loud before. I've read in front of people before. If I was reading that and I saw that coming up, I'd skip it. Seems like the thing to do, isn't it, you know? Heading towards the end now. So we're going to do the final palate cleanser and then the closer. There was a study that came out a little while ago that said that women between the ages of 18 and 24 suffer from more anxiety and depression than men of the same age. But it's also true to say that men of the same age kill themselves more. It does go to show men have that can-do attitude that women lack, you know? All I'm suggesting, ladies, is if you want equality, maybe start killing yourselves more, you know? Just think, that's a palate cleanser. I'm worried, you know? I'm worried about the future. I'm still young to be able to worry about the future. I'm worried that we're heading towards an authoritarian state, and I don't think it's going to take long. So allow me to take you into the future. 5 years into the future, to show you what the world is like. Show you what the country is like. It wasn't very difficult for the government to create an authoritarian state. All they had to do was do a referendum asking if people wanted their freedoms removed for national security. Their choices were yes or maybe. Now that all freedoms have gone, all courts are now secret courts. Now the government has brought in thought crime. They got the idea from the Minority Report, but because in the Minority Report they use psychics, and there isn't actually such a thing as psychics, what we did instead is we got Derek Acora and Darren Brown and strapped them to car batteries. Now all schools are de-radicalisation camps run by G4S, meaning that all schools are now just sheds with TVs in them showing reruns of the London Olympics, so that all children are blindly patriotic. Press freedom has gone. It has been replaced by the government's new regulatory body, Repress, which is an evolution of impress. I'll be honest, people should have fucking noticed that one. We now get our news pumped directly into our minds by news curators, creating news solely to back up our own opinions. Now everyone in the country thinks they are right all of the time, which has meant that smugness is now the leading cause of climate change. Problem with getting your news pumped directly into your minds is if you cannot afford the $9.99 a month subscription, every 30 minutes you are forced to talk in adverts that you cannot skip. We are still going through the Brexit divorce proceedings after the government brought in Nigel Farage as the chief negotiator, now the only man in the country who still believes Brexit will be a success, unwilling to listen to anything that the EU has to say until they confirm that they will change the name of Camembert to Squidgy Cheddar. The government have been busy though. They put in underwater customs checks to make sure that we only allow British fish in. They've also started a new EU initiative for EU citizens in this country. Instead of getting ID cards, now they all get beautiful tattoos, all in the shapes of numbers. They were going to give them their own camps to live in, but they were going to have Southern Rail do the transport, so it never happened. After hearing about UKIP and Nigel Farage, ISIS decided to turn themselves into a political party, realising it was easier to influence and spread hate whilst wearing a suit. They changed their name to the Islamic State Independence Party, or ISIP. Irony is now they're trying to bring democracy to the Middle East. I know. With the rise of fascism, with the rise of hate, we didn't try to stop it. Instead, we tried to integrate it into society, to a point that Dell have brought out the first ever fascist computer. If you hit alt-right, then a boxing glove comes out and hits the nearest minority. There is some good news though. Unemployment is at 0%. Now, the biggest employer of the poor is a government-owned FHA, the Fox Hunting Association. Now that foxes have been hunted to extinction, we now pay poor people 10 guineas an hour to dress up as foxes and run for their lives. People said, this is terrible, you can't do this, you can't treat poor people like this, this is a disgrace. That was before the government turned it into a television show hosted by Anton Deck. Then it became Saturday night entertainment. Happiness is now merely a story to tell children to help to get them to sleep. Over 18, the overriding feelings are apathy and nostalgia, which are also the main searches on Pornhub after the government banned porn. Pornhub is now just videos of white noise and reruns of A Touch of Frost. For a nation that gets its news pumped directly into their minds by billionaires wanting to control us, Fear is the overriding emotion. To help quell this sense of fear, the government built a giant duvet to cover the country, because we all feel safer under the covers, don't we? Unfortunately, this started the Scotland-Devon War, because Scotland kept putting it up over themselves, leaving Devon uncovered. Devon said they needed it more, because they were closer to the French. Of course, there were traitors amongst us. Those who told us that our freedoms had been taken away. We should probably do something about it. But these saboteurs do not understand the will of the people, which is why their hashtags never go viral and their petitions get no signatures. And of course, I am here, still worried about the future. Worried if this is a world to bring a child into. Wondering what generations below me, when they ask how it all got this way, knowing that I would have no answer for that. All while knowing that nostalgia is creeping into my mind, make me wish for a past that probably isn't even true. Like the disease that it is. Because I remember a poem, way back when, about the laws of gods and men. And I told myself that you should live that free when they wrote laws for all, but not for me. So, to the rebellion of youth, to following your dreams, to living life beyond your means. Before life happens, freedom goes, placed by taxes, stress, and feeling alone. To living a life of possibilities endless, drinks with friends, lovers in undress. Before the death in your 9 to 5, no longer working to live, just to survive. When fear was a word for the boring hordes, and you truly believed you were your own lords. Before life hit you, fell on your ass, realised the hope of youth, merely a farce. I dream of the days, way back when, I could fight the laws of gods and men. Now get out, you cunts.